Hey, you guys, come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. As you guys see this live, come on in, say hi, hello, hey, all that awesome stuff. So, like I see those of you that are joining us, those of you that may be new to my space, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Beverly Walthour. I am a business strategist specifically for established Christian female coaches who desire to accelerate their income and their impact without compromising their Christian values. And so, you guys, oh, this little strand over here. So, you guys, as you come on in, like I said, say hi, hello, hey. Those of you that are catching us on the replay, type in hashtag replay, leave your questions, your comments, all that awesome stuff. And I will try my best to come on back through here and respond back. Hey, April, how are you? And so, you guys, I just want to chit chat with you guys for a little while. Hey, Bathsheba, how are you? I just want to chit chat with my Christian female coaches for a second over here, and I'm going to go on about my business. Hey, Lakia, how are you? Um, and so, you guys, every once in a while I come on here and I act up, and then I'll go and I'll sit down and be quiet. So I'm gonna act about this much, and then I'm gonna act right the rest of the live. Okay, how about that? I'm gonna do just a little bit of this right here, and then I'm gonna calm down and do what I need to do the rest of this live. How about that? So might want to put your little earbuds in. I'm gonna holler and scream for a little bit, but then I'm gonna act right, because like Bathsheba, she may be new to me, and I don't want to run her away. So, for the new people, thank you so much for joining. Hey, Amy. And so, you guys, here we are. I'm talking to my established Christian female coaches. Here we are, the first week of July. So the first week of July, we can run it down. The first week of quarter three. You see what I'm saying? The first 7 days of the second half of the year, however you want to look at it, however you looking at this thing in the month of July here. And once again, as we're coming to the end or coming to the close of the first week. And so I think it's really powerful as I reflect back on this particular week, on this week in particular, and then once again speaking specifically to my Christian female coaches. So you guys gather around once again, especially if as you look back over this first week, because you guys know how I am. If you've done anything with me, then I'm all about looking at hey, Regina. I'm all about, because I'm talking to business owners. So that's one thing. This is where this is coming from as a business owner, and we're reflecting back on the first week of July, the first week in the second half of the year, the first week in quarter three. However you want to look at that. And so I'm always about the reflection, because I believe in being a good steward of what it is that God has given us. So He's given us these businesses, and so I believe in daily reflection. But once again, as we're looking back, and on this week in particular, where I'm always talking to you guys, especially as business owners, there's gonna always be a ton of noise in the online space. Like, you're not gonna be able to turn that noise off if you're in the online space. Now, you can be very intentional about what you consume and how much of it you consume, but you won't ever be able to fully turn off the noise unless you remove yourself from the platforms that you're on. Hey, Sandra, thank you so much. You are so welcome. And so, like I said, you can't turn off the noise. And so, my thing is, you can be intentional about the noise that you allow in to your ear. And so, this week in particular, which is very interesting, because if you see my post the past couple of days, well, you don't even have to see my post. You just seen posts over the past couple of days. Yes, there were two more social media platforms that have launched in this 1 week alone, right? Two more social media platforms that have launched in this 1 week alone. And so, it has me reflecting on us as business owners, and kind of what we're paying attention to. I always say pay attention to who you allow in your ear. Us specifically as believers in business, being very discerning about what it is you're doing, how you're moving, all of that stuff. It's just important, because like I said, it's gonna always be something. And so, once again, looking back, and you guys know I'm always reflective. I had my reflections the other week with the whole issue with the submersible. I did a whole 7-part rant. I just went through and had a 7-part series on my view on that from the business strategist, business owner perspective. Now, here we are. On this week here, and I want to talk about the launch of these two new platforms, and then once again my take on it from the business perspective, and then once again speaking to my coaches. And so, both of these things were launched, once again to audiences. And this is what we have to pay attention to, especially as business owners. And I'm always talking about, be careful about the words that come out of your mouth, the thoughts that you're speaking as business owners, period. And remember, even us as coaches, everything that you have is not for everybody. And it is okay. It's not supposed to be for everybody. And so I'm always of that belief. You don't ever do anything out of fear or lack, because there is no fear, there is no lack in the kingdom. So whenever you're making moves in your business and you're doing things or you're deciding not to do a thing, it should never come from that space of fear or lack, period. And so, from the entrepreneurial perspective, as I'm thinking about the launch of these two platforms, once again, these people created these platforms as a way to fill a void. So even us as entrepreneurs, you're solving a problem. So these two people that put out these things, one of the new platforms is called Spill, Spill, and then the other one we know is Threads over there that's attached to Instagram. And so my thing is they created this out of what they perceived as a need. Regardless of what you think about the people who created it, they did it based on a need. So even for ourselves, you're asking yourself, even as an entrepreneur, once again, specifically, I'm talking to my coaches, what are the needs that are in your community? What is it that your people are asking for? What is it that they're complaining about? My thing is, do you have a solution to that thing? Do you have a solution to that thing? Once again, it's not going to solve the problem of 100% of the people who are connected to you. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But my thing is, pay attention to what it is that people are saying and doing. So, like I said, just from that perspective, as business owners, you always want to keep your ear to the ground, in our case, to our community, our network, the people who are connected to us, the people that we've been called to serve. And once again, pay attention to what it is that they're saying, the questions that they're asking, once again, even the things that they're complaining about, that type of thing. So, like I said, genius move on these two entrepreneurs, because once again, both of those platforms was based out of what people thought about Twitter. A lot of it was based on, because both of them have a Twitter feel to it. And so once again, people were complaining with the direction in which they saw Twitter going. So two people came up, and I'll say two people, the whole team that were behind both of those came up with a solution. So once again, keeping your ear to what your people are saying is going, and that's going on in your community. Sometimes we are so tone deaf, or sometimes we're so laser focused on one thing and trying to stuff something down people's throats that they don't want. They're telling you they don't want it, but you're going to put it out there because that was something that you stop, pause, pay attention, especially as business owners, That next thing, very genius move. Like I said, on both of their part, to come out with what they consider to be a solution to the issues that people were having with the particular platform, which goes to show some of us are so afraid, and I'm not saying to copy anybody, but some of us are so afraid. Well, hey, I just saw somebody out there, and they talked about this. Theirs was in red, mine is in blue, but I don't want to put mine out there because I don't want to think that they copied me. Stop. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. If God has placed something in your spirit to do, then go ahead and do it. We're so caught up and focused on the wrong thing. If he gave you something, it's for somebody there. It's for somebody that's a part of your community. And so once again, in order for you to know it, though, you have to have conversations with people in your community. A lot of you guys, you're hiding out, you're hiding behind Canva, you're over there on your website, you're tweaking this, you're tweaking that, playing with the colors and all of that stuff like that. That's not what it is, and how it is going to get you to the people that you've been called to serve. Do not be afraid to get out there and into the trenches and having conversations. Like I'm an advocate of having conversations with people in your community on a daily basis. Those conversations can take place through your content, which is a very powerful field. So for instance, the post that I put out earlier about, I asked the question, hey, what made you decide to go ahead and join Threads? Right? A very specific question. Now, I also put the disclaimer in there as part of my personality. If you're not on the platform, I'm not talking to you. Well, I said on that, I'm not typing to you. And this is why I put that disclaimer on there, because people like to complain. I don't want to hear your complaint. And honestly, I don't care. I don't care why you're not on it. I'm talking to the people who actually joined it. Because once again, as a business owner, once again, you guys, being in that mindset of being curious and asking questions is such a powerful thing. And so once again, being able to hear people's take on what it was and the reason why they actually joined the platform, me as an entrepreneur, it was just very interesting to see different people's take on the thing. That part right there. Yeah. And that's another thing right there, Makita. And so this is the beautiful thing. And I had a post, I think it was yesterday. And I always say, don't join something out of fear or out of lack. And so once again, Makita was like, look, I was going to join. She said, but I read them terms of services and conditions. And when they said, hey, in order for you to delete this, you got to delete your Instagram and da 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 da. And so once again, for some people, they read it and they were like, hey, this is not for me. And my thing is, the post that I had the other day, I'm like, that's amazing because everything is not for everybody. And that's the beautiful piece. What bothers me is with some people's posts, and there's this level of shame in there, like you're shaming somebody. And I'm like, why do you? And I understand people say put content out there that's divisive and gets people to, but my thing is, when you're shaming and condemning people, that's not even Christ-like, because it clearly tells us in scripture that we are not, it's not about being condemned. Period. So when you do it from a space of arrogance and condemnation, that's where I have the issue with how some people post content and they're talking about a thing. Your level of judgment, like I said, allow people to make their own decisions. Allow people to make their own decisions. Here's another thing. So Makita said, I thought that they could wipe out your accounts and change my mind. I needed to count the cost. Can't just jump on every bandwagon that comes along. And I love Makita. Once again, she made a decision based on her research. And she was like, for me, this not for me. And so once again, when Makita comes and she decides to make a post about it, and she may say, hey, I'm not jumping on this right here. I'm not doing this, one, because, the terms of services, me reading through the terms of service, I don't agree with this. Two, wiping out my content, I don't agree with this. This part right here, there is no condemnation in what Makita said. Makita is sharing this is her perspective. But when you have those people, oh my God, I can't believe you do that. Oh my God, wait a minute, ma'am. Once again, we want to talk about people being able to choose and all this stuff like this. But then once again, you guys, you always want to check yourself, check your motives. When you're posting anything, when you're having conversations about anything, always check your motives. And once again, I just feel like, especially us as believers, if you are not looking to edify and build people up. Now, once again, it's not about you trying to be fake. It's not about that. But my thing is, if you're not coming from that space of edifying and lifting people up, and your goal is to try to put somebody down and make somebody else feel bad so that you feel good about yourself, that's not even God-like. That's not even Christ-like. I don't even know what that is. I don't know what that is, but that ain't him. That's not him. So once again, check your motives, check your motives, check your motives. But once again, going back to the purpose of this first part to this live, once again, as entrepreneurs, as business owners, once again, these people saw a need, they filled in a void for the people that it was for. Now, once again, it's not for everybody. And the thing is, when you as a business owner, when you put your ear to the ground and listen to what's going on with your people, the people in your community, the people that are connected to you, people on your email list, all of that stuff like that. And then once again, listen to what it is that they're saying. And then now you have a solution to what it is. That's a powerful piece of us being business owners, us being entrepreneurs. So like I said, if you're not looking back on this past 2 weeks, the past week with these two new platforms that popped up, it seemed like they came out of the blue type of situation. And as a business owner, looking at it from that mindset, because I'm always telling us as business owners, we have two mindsets. We have the mindset of a consumer because we're still consuming things, so we're still consumers. But you also have the mindset of an entrepreneur and a business owner. And like I said, being able to look back at this thing, and once again, the things that you really loved about what happened, and then the things that you did not like about it, and then even for yourself, even with yourself, you being able to say, you know what, I love what they did with that. Hey, how can I take this? Because one thing, if you don't learn anything else from the launch of those two things, if you did not pull anything else from that, the power of social media, the power of social media. If you don't gain anything else from that, and once again, the power in that, because for both of those two platforms, for Spill and for Threads, both of those platforms, there we go, Krishanda, both of those platforms, the power of social media. Social media was the reason why a lot of people either jumped on those that jumped on the bandwagon, they're like, hey, I want to be early adopters. Hey, I love how this feels. I love the flow. Or for those of you that are like, nope, this not for me. I read those terms and said, I don't want no parts of that. Don't want no parts of that right there. But once again, the power of that, the power of social media. And being able to spread the word about it. And so once again, even for myself, as a business owner, when I looked at the power of social media. Once again, another lesson in that. Once again, we know the power of social media can be very good. So, in those two cases, for those two platforms that launch, the power of social media helped to carry and make the launch of those very successful. So, the power of social media can be a very positive thing for you, your business, your brand, or a person. Now, we also saw the power of social media for something that was not favorable for somebody. And so once again, so those people in the business arena, you can have, like I said, whole conversations about the launch of those two platforms and coming from that business perspective, that type of thing. Now, we also saw this week the power of social media for someone, and it was not a positive experience. So those of you that followed what happened with Keke Palmer and the father of her child. And that was another example of the power of social media. And so, even with that, so those of you in the relationship realm, those of you that are in the empowerment realm, the self improvement realm, the personal development realm, all of those, that was another thing where you can take, once again, the power of social media, you as a business owner, being able to have conversations around that as well. So, that whole thing, but even with that, in the power of social media, of how even that example with the father of her child and how social media and their whole interaction with him versus the interaction with her. And then also, like I said, just the conversations that were birthed out of that situation. So, you guys, like I said, just us as business owners, the power of social media. That was that other piece I wanted to talk to us about, the power of social media. How are you leveraging social media in your business? Now, will you have the same level of impact as those two platforms that launched, and then those two people that I just mentioned? Maybe, maybe not. But once again, the influence that you do have with the people who are connected to you and with you. Now I'm ready to go into business strategist mode, and now I'm speaking specifically to my coaches right now. How are you leveraging the power of social media for the people who are connected to you right now? What are you doing? What type of conversations are you having with them? How are you building your brand awareness? How are you building brand loyalty? Because the whole thing with Keke Palmer, and once again, the people that are like, hey, you can't come for my cousin. She can do no wrong, right or wrong. She can do no wrong in these people's eyes. And they came to this young lady's defense all because of her and her brand. And so, even for yourself as a business owner, I'm talking to my established Christian female coaches right now. How are you leveraging the power of social media? Are you seeing this as something, oh my gosh, I hate social media, I can't stand it? My thing is, social media is what you make of it. It's a tool that we have that we can use. How are you leveraging this tool to have conversations with your ideal clients? I call them my next level clients. But how are you leveraging social media to have conversations, to build your brand awareness, to build connection and relationship and community? How are you leveraging this as one tool? It's not the only tool in your business, but how are you leveraging this for one tool in your business? How are you doing that? Because, like I said, we saw in just this week alone the power of social media. How are you leveraging that? If you're coming through with the mindset of, oh my gosh, I hate social media. Oh my goodness, this is something I got to do. No. One of the conversations that I had, and one of the questions I posted in my Facebook group, and I had a conversation with the ladies that are in my June sales sprint, I was like, don't look at this as something that you have to do. Look at this as something that you get to do. I get to be able to pop up on here. I don't have to pay money in the sense. Now, those of you, if you're paying for your check, I'm paying for my blue check mark, but I don't have to pay money in the sense of me going live. But I can click on that button and go live and have a conversation with my ideal client. I can open up my phone and shoot off an email to my list. How am I leveraging the power of social media? How am I leveraging the power of the online space, period? Are you looking at it as a way of I get to, not I have to, but I get to. I get to use this and leverage this as a way of having connection and building community and creating impact through the sales of my services. You guys, it's a shifting of the mindset. It's a shifting of the mindset. When you look at it, oh my gosh, oh my goodness, this is something that, oh my goodness. You guys, I'm telling you, there's a heaviness, there's a different weight that comes to that when you come from it from that perspective. Versus you say, hey, I get to leverage this tool, I get to use this tool as a way to connect with people. Whichever tools you decide to use, it's up to you. Now, I encourage you to use the tools in which your ideal clients are hanging out on, but that's just building my business strategist perspective of it. But how are you leveraging that tool. And like I said, it starts with your mindset of how you even look at the tool to begin with. Once again, we had 3 prime examples just this week. Those 2 platforms, so 1, 2, and then that whole situation with Keke Palmer and the father of her child. And we got to see firsthand for ourselves the power of social media, the power of your online space. How are you leveraging that? And once again, those of you, the post that I had where I said, what made you join the Threads platform? And like I said, I had that disclaimer here. I don't want to hear from you if you didn't join, because once again, I wanted to get into people's heads of what makes people move. And once again, the power of social media. Everything that I put out is very strategic. It's very strategic. And like I said, I wanted to get into people's heads. Like, and I was like, hey, I was being nosy, networking, sales. Like I put my own thoughts in there too. But people were like, hey, somebody said I need to get on here. Somebody said, hey, this is a good spot. Hey, I want to be able, and it allowed for me to get into people's heads and see the why of what people are doing and what make people move and operate. So that way I'm not guessing. I'm not guessing at the thing. I'm getting it straight from the horse's mouth. So like I said, everything is very strategic. So that type of thing. So like I said, how are you leveraging social media? How are you leveraging to build community, relationships, all of those things? I was having a conversation with one of my clients today. Some of us, it's so much buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. Why are you not in here? Why didn't you purchase this? Why you didn't? Leverage your social media as a way for your personality as well. How is your personality coming across on your social media? This right here. So Wanda said curiosity sales is what she saw with that. And once again, with people buying it. Another thing I already know is going to come out of this right here. And I'm like, people, you get mad already. I'm like, why are we getting mad? I had a post where I was like, be prepared for people that's going to be like, you know, how to monetize on Threads. You know, what's the fastest way to build your Threads? And they're going to have paid classes and all of that stuff like that. Get prepared. You guys, we've seen that and done that. For us in those of us that are heavily using Facebook, like when we initially came on Facebook, for a lot of us, we used it to connect with our friends and family when it initially came. The same thing with Instagram. So for us, we got to start, one of the platforms that we got to see, especially us as, you know, the people that I'm speaking to, was Clubhouse. Clubhouse was one of those things where we got to see from the start what it looked like and then where it is now. For a lot of us, a lot of these other platforms have been around for a while, like Twitter and stuff like that. And so when we initially came into some of these platforms, we didn't have the entrepreneurial mindset. And so for some of us, we got to see the power of Clubhouse. So those of you that were able to, when Clubhouse first got started, and what it was for and how it was when it initially started, and people who were literally able to build their businesses, literally build 6 and 7 figure businesses from Clubhouse. A lot of us got to see that for ourselves. Now, what it has devolved into now and where it is now, I'm not speaking about that, but I'm talking about when it initially started. And so for a lot of people, they got to see that. They got in on the front end of that. Once again, as business owners, I'm talking about people who are operating in integrity and excellence. I'm not talking about all that other foolishness and all that. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about those people, because there's going to be people in everywhere you go that they ain't going to do the right thing. But for those that went in there, they were able to leverage that platform in a powerful way. And the same thing, the Clubhouse was built on the power of social media on other platforms. That type of thing. Oh, when I tell you, Imelda, I'm telling you, people have already said they've already seen the master classes. They've already seen the book. Look here. You guys, I'm telling you, yes. Like, and you're gonna start seeing the paid master classes, the paid ebooks, and all of that stuff like that. And my thing is, don't get frustrated, because that's what people are going to do. I remember when Clubhouse first came out, people were like, oh my gosh, people are coming in here and they're just giving freely of themselves, and they're in here, they're just giving advice, and they're just sharing their wisdom and their knowledge, and you know, oh my God, this is an amazing place to be in on Clubhouse, and it's amazing over there. The same thing with Threads. Right now, people are over there on Threads. We're just acting up. We're just over there acting up. We're stream of thought, all of that stuff, whatever's coming to mind. But once again, you best believe that it is a platform over there where people are going to also, they're looking to monetize. If they're a business owner, they're looking to monetize as well. So why are we going to get upset? And I did say, I'm thinking at least they're going to give us a week before they start trying to monetize over there like that and selling stuff when it comes to Threads. But yeah, Clubhouse is still up. I logged into Clubhouse the other day. Y'all, I found my iPad up under the bed. Y'all know that was the only way I was on Clubhouse. I refuse to put it on my phone, although it's on Droid now. But yes, I've peeked in Clubhouse a couple of times. I'm like, okay, it doesn't have the same impact as it did. But like I said, I'm not mad at those people that leverage that platform the way that they did. Once again, I'm talking about the people who are operating in excellence and integrity. Once again, it's going to always be people that are not going to do the right. That's a whole different story. And so once again, like I said, but when I think about Clubhouse, it was the power of social media, all the other platforms and people talking about it. And so, like I said, for us as business owners, how are we leveraging social media? How are you using that as a way to communicate with others? All of those things, all of those things, all of those things. And so, and Makita, even with this right here and with your background in that, once again, you being able to have conversations with people coming from a space of empowerment. And this right here, I love what I'm seeing with Makita. And once again, and Makita, that text side to you and you having that conversation with your audience. How many people are having this conversation? And I know it's taking up my whole face, but Makita, how many people are having this conversation with the people in their audience? You said, as a person in tech, I subscribe to big industry and email lists that put out information on pros and cons of different platforms, especially for business. This morning, they sent out a huge warning about Threads. We need to make sure to pay attention to what's coming up and understand how to use platforms for business, but also the reasons why you might not want to use it. We need to use wisdom. Yet every last one of them, you guys, the power of that. And like I said, I always tell people, don't do anything out of fear, lack, worry. We don't operate out of that space. That's not even kingdom, period. It's not even kingdom. It's not even kingdom, that type of thing. Okay. So I love that. Like I said to Makita, you having a conversation with your people about that. And so this is going to be the thing. Is everybody going to agree with Makita? No, they're going to be like, oh, it's not that serious. But once again, it's not going to be for everybody. Everything that we do is not for everybody. And even in my own community, I tell you guys this all the time, even in the church, period, we don't agree. Let's be real. Let's be real. That we about to look. I told you, I'm talking to my believers right now. Even in the church, we don't agree. So how do we expect that people are going to always agree with everything we say and do? And we're so afraid to speak about it because we're afraid of people disagree. No, don't come from that space. Do not come from that space. And so, like I said, if we already know, like I said, some don't believe in speaking in tongues, some don't believe in the Holy Spirit, we got all kind of stuff going on in the church. But once again, you guys, I'm telling you, so don't allow that to hold you back from speaking whatever it is that God has given you. Whatever it is that he's giving you, go ahead and speak it. So like I said, Makita might be like, I don't even care about all that. I'm like, look, but I love that perspective that Makita gave. Once again, for those people that are on the fence, those people are like, hey, I didn't think about it. Hey, I didn't even know about it. But like I said, I'm talking about the power of social media. So how are you leveraging the power of social media? So Makita, I don't know if you saw this, but somebody, Makita said, Makita, if you create a blog post or a video about it, I'll watch it or read it. So there we go. And once again, I know Makita and I know her heart. And so I know she's coming from a space of empowerment and making sure that people are equipped with information to now make a decision that would, now they have all the information or they have additional information that can aid them in making decisions, period. So I love that. So like I said, you guys, I acted up just a little bit, but then I put a little spin on that because you guys, I'm telling you, once again, when it comes to us as business owners, entrepreneurs, once again, you do what it is and how it is that God is leading you to move and operate in your business. But like I said, however you're doing, because I know you're at least on one platform because you're watching me on social media right here. So you're watching me on social media. And so once again, with you watching me on social media, at least I know that you leverage social media, or that you use social media. But my question is, how are you leveraging your influence? Because we're all influencers. I talk about this all the time. I don't care if you don't ever want to embrace that term, you are an influencer. Because when we hear the word influencer, we automatically think about the ratchet stuff that we see. And that's not what I'm talking about. We are influencers. We influence people. When you walk into a room, you should influence and impact the room that you walk in. Period. Us as believers, I don't care what anybody says. And so you are an influencer. So how are you leveraging your social media, your online presence when it comes to what you do, period? What type of impact are you leaving on others? Those people, now specifically talking to my coaches, when you're interacting and engaging with those people who are a part of your community, what type of influence are you having? How are you leveraging this tool that we have? Now, I said it was free to use, and I put quotation marks around that because we're using our time, we're sowing our talent into this. Some of us are actually sowing our treasure, just depending upon how you're leveraging the social media. But my thing is, when you are leveraging it, versus us coming from a space, oh my gosh, I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. But once again, you get to. So when you move into that space of I get to, how are you leveraging what you have in your hand? Literally, a lot of us literally have it in our hand. How are you leveraging that? So I pray that you're leveraging it in a way to be able to impact the people that you've been called to serve. You're in this season, you're in the kingdom for such a time as this. God has not released you from your coaching, your consulting. He hasn't released you. The services that you provide. So it's like, okay, boom, how am I going to leverage what it is that I have? Okay. So, like I said, I want to have this conversation. This is just the first 7 days of July, and I'm like, God, boom, you hitting this hard. You're going this hard. That type of thing from just the first 7 days, like that type of thing. So, you guys, I encourage you, whichever platform you're using, your social media, your email list, and once again, this is just one avenue because whatever you're doing outside of off this online space, what are you doing in real life? That type of thing when it comes to your business as well. But I'm speaking specifically about social media because what we saw in just these first 7 days of the month of July. That's what made me come on and speak about this. There we go. Yes, 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 yes. All of that right there, Lakia. Impact Speak truly making me to understand that part right there. So that yes, 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 yes. No. Oh, I just saw Amy's comment. Oh, bye, Amy. And so you guys, like I said, just wanted to hop on here, have that conversation. Once again, how are you leveraging what you have? Amelda said we should also understand what causes those thoughts about social media. Everything works the difference in the way that you, yeah. And we it's all about that, the thoughts that we have. And once again, even where that comes from. And once again, my thing is just I made a huge shift when I shifted from, I have to do something to I get to do it. Because once again, it's a whole different mindset when I realized, well, hey, I get to, I have that, especially us being stewards of what it is that God has. And so I get to use this as a way to connect with my audience, connect with the people that God has called me to serve, that type of thing. So that's such a powerful way of looking at it. I get to, I don't have to do it. I get to. And that's such a beautiful thing. Okay. And so you guys, like I said, as my Christian female coaches, leverage this tool as a way to have an impact on the people that God has called you to serve. Imagine the impact and the power that you get to have whenever you're using this, you're leveraging this platform, you're leveraging this feature, and being able to build those relationships, have that communication, have those conversations, have those connections, those types of things. So it's such a beautiful thing, a beautiful tool. Everything, once again, is all in how you use it. So how are you leveraging this tool? Okay. And so, like I said, I want to have that conversation with you guys. Um, like I said, think about the impact. What conversations can you have with your ideal clients over the next couple of days, whether or not it's written form, whether or not it's video, whether or not it's an email, whether or not it's you and Messenger, picking up the phone, all of that stuff. All of that stuff. Here you go. I'm a Christian coach so I thought social media was not for me, but I was all wrong. I had to understand what caused me to think about that and reprogram my mind to dominate on the platforms that I chose. And that's the thing. That is the thing. So such the reprogramming and the paradigm shifts, all of those beautiful things. And once again, then it makes it so much more enjoyable, and it makes it as a way of, hey, I get to that type of thing. So thank you for sharing that, Imelda. And so once again, now, of course, you guys, before I log out of here, you saw my little link. If you my challenge is back. So if you've ever done my Sign Your Next $2,000 plus coaching client 5-day challenge, that challenge is back. I have not done that challenge since November of 2021, so almost 2 years. And so that challenge is back. Is better than ever. We've had over 1,000 coaches that have done that challenge. So this challenge is not a new challenge to me at all, but I have not done it. If you just recently connected with me, I haven't done it in 2 years. So the Sign Your Next $2,000 plus coaching client challenge is back. And so, like I said, we've had Over 1,000 coaches have gone through this challenge. It's absolutely amazing. It's the week of July the 24th through the 28th. So a lot of you guys are getting messages from me just asking, hey, are you joining us? If you haven't gotten a message, I'm going to reach out. We got 2 weeks. I'm trying to get up in everybody's inbox between now and then because I don't want anybody to say that they didn't know. Once again, the power of social media. So I don't want anyone saying that they didn't know anything about the challenge. And so once again, the way that it's set up, Day one, we're going to talk about positioning your genius. So this is all about your messaging when it comes to you as a coach and how it is that you've been called to impact. And then day two is all about packaging or repackaging because a lot of you guys already have an offer, but the way that it's some of you guys, if you just make some tweaks to your packaging and the verbiage around your packaging, you can literally go from selling it for $500 to selling it for $5,000 within 5 days. The 5 days that we're together. We're going to talk about your pricing. Mighty goodness, y'all in this pricing. We have to stop underselling. We have to stop undervaluing our services. We have to. And then it's going to be two parts of sales. So part one, which is what I call promote your genius. So we're going to have 2 days of sales, 2 days of sales, 2 days of sales with this challenge. So like I said, it's the sign your next $2,000 plus. We literally had people in this challenge sign $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 clients in 5 days because I want you guys to see what you can do in as little as 5 days. I just shared a testimonial from one of my clients that's in our sales spread. And so we always close our sales spread out with a 48-hour sales blitz. We always end it with a 48-hour sales blitz. And so within 24 hours, she's a couple of $100s away from the goal that she set. So once again, within 48 hours, she's a couple of $100s away from the goal. I want you guys to see, in this case, they're doing it in 48 hours, so they're doing it in 2 days. I want you guys to see in as little as 5 days what you can do in your business when you are very intentional about what it is that you're doing. Be intentional about the steps that you're taking. And so once again, we're going to walk you through these 5 days. We're going to walk you through these 5 days. That part right there. And so once again, this is a paid challenge. So the general experience is $47. So like I said, we start on July 24th through the 28th. We have live sessions at noon Eastern Standard Time. So it's live interactive where there's an email that goes out with the content and an activity. Is always an assignment. It goes out at 5 a.m. At 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we meet live. It's interactive with breakout sessions. We go over the lessons, all of that stuff like that. And then those of you that want to do the VIP experience, because there's a VIP experience. With the VIP experience, they have implementation labs because if you've done anything with me, you know I'm all about the implementation. I need you to do the work because I want you to get the results. I really and truly want you to get the results. So with the VIP experience, there's an implementation lab. So after we have our general session, our general experience, then those of you that are part of the VIP experience, then we stay on and it's about implementation. So we look at your offer. We look at the messaging around your offer. Like you get our eyes on all of that. And my goal, I want you to actually tweak it while we're there. I want you to actually make the shifts and the changes. I want you to actually put it out while we're actually there together. And so the VIP experience is $97. And the beautiful thing with the VIP experience is if you join us by 11:59 Eastern Standard Time tonight, which is July the 7th, if you join us by 11:59 Eastern Standard Time, then you get a 30-minute session with me. So if you join the VIP experience by 11:59 Eastern Standard Time tonight, July the 7th, then you get a 30-minute session with me as well. So like I said, this is a proven challenge. We've had over 1,000 coaches that have gone through this challenge. I'm super excited about bringing it back after 2 years of not doing it. I'm super excited. Hey, Dr. T. Hey. So I'm super excited about bringing it back. And so once again, I would love for you guys to join us. So of course, the link is floating around above my head somewhere. Those of you, if you do sign up, those of you that have signed up, I have not seen my pre-work yet. Y'all, if you do anything with me, although the challenge does not start until the week of July 24th, there's pre-work. There's pre-work. With time you sign up, you got something to do. And I have not seen my pre-work. Those of you that are in the challenge, I have not seen my pre-work. Get your pre-work into the big group. So once again, you guys, if you're interested and you're ready to just have that little kick, that accountability, once again, just that burst, for the month of July. Once again, this is a powerful way for us to kick off quarter 3, a powerful way for us to kick off the second half of the year. And so, like I said, this challenge is one of my favorite challenges to do. It's one of my most popular challenges, just based on the sheer number of people who've done it and then the results that we've gotten. So if you have signed up for the challenge and you have not done your pre-work, I need to see your pre-work. I haven't seen any of the pre-work yet. So another email is going to go out and start fussing at y'all. But like I said, I believe in that action breeds results. And so once again, that's why upon you signing up, there is pre-work, because I want you guys to go ahead and get your mind into that mindset. Now, I want you to generate, you can generate revenue before the challenge even starts. Okay. And so once again, there's a clickable link above the video, above my head. Wherever the video is, there's a clickable link. That part. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So the way that it's set up, the co-working sessions, the implementation labs, yes, you guys, once again, and that's one of the differences between how I ran this challenge before and what it will look like now. The co-working sessions, I call them the implementation labs. Like that's going to be huge, because in the general experience, like when we have that first session at noon, once again, it's going to be a lot of conversations. It's going to be breakout sessions. We're going to talk about the activities. So there's a lot of conversations with the general admission. With the VIP experience, this is where we literally roll up our sleeves. This is what we're looking at. This is where we're changing the pricing, but you get to ask questions about it. You get to get other people's eyes on it. You get the feedback. So once again, it's a different feel. It's that co-working where you're actually doing the work. Like when you walk away from this 5-day challenge, once again, which is very different from a lot of challenges. When you walk away from this challenge, like I said, you have everything you need to sign clients. Like you're gonna be able to sign clients during the 5 days, and that's what it's designed for. Even with the general experience, because the way that I ran it before, it was through the eyes of the general experience. And once again, the results that we've gotten with the general experience, where they've done $2,000, $3,000, and $5,000 clients with just the general experience, the way that I used to do it. Now with the implementation labs, adding that deeper level to it, because I want more and more people to get those results, that type of thing. So like I said, if you see the link somewhere, it's above my head or below my head somewhere. But like I said, the general experience, that the investment for that is $47. The VIP experience, that investment is $97. And those of you that sign up for the VIP experience before 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight, July the 7th, you'll get a 30-minute session with me. So once again, those of you that are doing the VIP experience, go ahead and jump on that just for the call alone. Okay. All right. So once again, if you guys have any specific questions for me, feel free to ask. I'll be hanging around for a little while. But once again, I would love to have you join us. But I want you guys to walk away with what we talked about when we first started. How are you leveraging the power of social media? Like I said, we saw 3 examples just this week with the launch of Spill, the launch of Threads, and then the whole situation with Keke Palmer and the father of her child, and just talk about the power of social media. And so, once again, us as business owners, how are we leveraging social media? How are we leveraging that power to build relationships, to let people know how we can serve them, what that looks like? Okay. All right, you guys, that is all that I have. If you guys have any questions for me, feel free to reach out to me. Once again, how are you leveraging the power of social media? That's the question I'm going to leave you guys with. I pray you guys have an absolutely amazing rest of your day, and I will see you guys on the other side of this live. You guys take care, take care, take care.